everyone, hope you're doing well. It's evening here now, only after 8, but still. I just came back home after attending an event where people tell stories. I was guided there by Universe and I was excited to go there because I was like, oh, this is something new. Firstly, it's community, and then there's stories to be told with the theme light and darkness. So I went there and I listened, and then afterwards they said if there is anyone else who wants to tell a story. And I know Universe wanted me to talk. And I was so tempted to do it because if it is anything I know, it is dark and light. I have lots of stories about dark and light, but when I was sitting there, I was like, well, if I start talking, I will babble. And they have like fables and stories from the past and Norse mythology and stuff like that. So they had like I didn't have any such stories about dark and light, but I had my own spiritual awakening, which has been a lot of darkness and to find your own light. So I was like, yeah, but if I had known this, I would have practiced for something, because I know that I'm very good at babbling. Because, I talk and then I forget what was the point again. And then I talk just because I didn't forget the point of the story. And so, hence the babbling. I do it sometimes in these videos, but it happens. And there was a lot of people. So I was, should I, shouldn't I? Because I didn't have a clear plot of a story for them. And I only had my own experience and interpretation of light versus dark, which was the theme. But then when I was walking home, I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't, because I have Sebastian and I have Cora. That is dark and light. And then I was walking home and I was thinking, well, I could talk in the video. I realized I was very inspired because I do my vlogging videos, which is a lot for practice, but also I do it also because I know Universe wants me to talk. They want me to share my stories, to share my experience of the spiritual awakening, because this is in my soul mission. It is to guide and lead. I have said in many videos that I don't have so much experience from it. So, and I have been like, they want me to teach and stuff, and maybe they do. But tonight, when I was there listening to these stories and fairy tales and whatever else, I was, maybe this is what Universe wants a little bit, me to be a storyteller. Because I have been written since I was a child also. I even had a book publishing business for a while, until the energy thieving made me sold my stocks in it. So writing is like what I love, and reading. But somewhere along the way, I stopped doing it. And I was thinking, is this what the Universe wants? Is this why they guided me to this place? Because they want me to start telling stories again. Because there are a lot of ways you can tell a story, and you can teach and help and whatever else. You can make it as a fairy tale, a story like that, or you can give information and everything, so it's informative talking. So there are so many ways. And then I was, do they want me to make it like a storyteller thing? I don't know. But when I went home, I was thinking I should maybe sit by the video a little bit and talk a little bit about light and dark, which was the theme. Because if I would have spoken, I think I could only have spoken about my spiritual awakening, because it has been very difficult for me And it has been where I have been aware about my darkness, but also about my light. Because I have lived my whole life thinking that I'm not good enough. And, I have this lack mindset. I never had any self esteem. I hated being on pictures. I have almost no pictures from when I grew up because I was always the one behind the camera. So I have been ruled by darkness, as I said many times, and it has taken so much inner struggles and fight to find my light. And now I can see that I shine my light. And I know people will say, oh, she thinks she's so full of herself. But no, I have realized that for my survival, to be able to build a life where I'm happy, I need to find my light and I need to embrace it. But also the darkness, because my darkness is insane. He even named himself Sebastian. That is how innovative my darkness is. It even made me question, is it an external entity because he communicates with me, or is it my own imagination creating him to a person? I don't know. I'm still not sure, to be honest. I just know that he calls himself Sebastian. Sent me a song with "You Can Call Me Sebastian." And in dreams and stuff, I saw him as a dark-haired, very handsome man standing in a house full of darkness and looking out on the yard or whatever, seeing another house which was full of light, a theater of some sort. And he was very concerned because there was so much light. And that is Sebastian. And I tried to not make him into a person because then maybe his grip of me will be stronger. But it's still there and it's part of me. And the other day, when I had my little time of alone, and I felt very dark and hopeless and whatever else, how darkness can come up upon you suddenly. I felt stagnated and impatient, and that was probably why he could sneak back in. And I realized that if I'm going to be free from my darkness again, I need to do it. So I said to universe, he needs to go. And I said, I put it, because I said it with intention, with a drive. Sebastian is no more. He needs to be removed. I will not let him control me. I want to live with my light. And that night I had a dream where I heard a voice say, I am your ex, but I'm still here. And I know that was Sebastian. And I woke up and I was like, he calls himself my ex, but that means that he is no longer controlling me. He's my ex. He doesn't own me. He doesn't rule me. But he is still here. And he is part of me. And I have realized from these years that we need darkness for the light and the other way around. And then I'm thinking about the light because I have never seen my own light. And now, even if I don't have much, or what the 3D society would call have much, I have realized I have so much light, it's insane. And I'm so proud of it. And most of all, I'm so proud that I can see it, feel it, know it, that I shine. Even when I just talk like this, I can see it and I embrace it. It's not me thinking I'm better than anyone else. It's me actually seeing my light. Because the darkness is in hostage now, not me. I am shining. And that feels really lovely. And then I'm thinking about Cora, who is light. My sister thinks she's a demon, that I'm obsessed with her and everything else. And sure, in a way, I actually am, because I love no one more than I love Cora. We are one and the same. We are twins. We are more than twins. I don't know what we are really, and she doesn't either. But one thing I know for sure is that she's light. She always have my intentions. My best is her biggest intention. It is to give me the best. And she can't always, because she is the one sending me lessons. Karma needs to be paid, and because I need to grow. If I don't get the lessons, I won't grow. And if I don't grow, then I won't, find my authentic self. And I have had lots of lessons to learn and stuff. And now I have come so far that I actually, for every lesson I had, and every struggle I had, and every fight with the darkness I have gotten more light. A little bit more light each and every time I fought my darkness. And it is actually very beautiful. And I am very happy to have Cora, because not everyone has such a determined soul as I have with Cora. And actually, I even embrace the obsession I have with her, and she have with me, because we belong together. And she makes me a little bit more light, because she gives me lessons to remove my darkness. And I know it's not for me to remove my darkness, but it is for me to put him as a hostage, so he doesn't control me. But I need darkness for the light, and that way around. And then when I was walking home, I was thinking, damn it, I should have said that. Because it's always like that. When I was sitting there and listening to them, and I was like, I know universe wants me to talk, and I won't, then I will fail Cora. And I know she wouldn't see it that way. She would be pleased if I had spoken, and I should have, in a sense, but then on the other side, I didn't. I was a little bit caught in the, if I had prepared myself like they probably did before, it would be easier. But it was very spontaneous, and as I said, I battle a lot when I forget what to say, and I forget it easy. But I think that maybe I will tell a little bit stories in these videos about my awakening, because there has been chaos, and there has been fun things happening, and there has been heartfelt things happening. And an awakening is not linear. There are lots of emotions going on, which is both light and dark, and it's a good theme also. So I do like it. And next time, if I'm still here, then it is a Storyteller-Café again, April 1st. I will see what theme it is, and I will prepare, because I'm going to talk. It is good practice for me, I think. So, but light versus darkness. I have lots of light, but I have the darkness also. And I think we need a balance from it. But it is not to rule me anymore. And I don't see it as the darkness made me not speak today, because the darkness is fierce. And I was a little bit insecure. Should I? I don't know what I'm talking about. And then that is fierce, and that is darkness. But I was so very close. I just didn't have it figured out yet. I will practice better, because I don't want darkness or fears to rule me ever again. So maybe this was a test from the universe. I don't know. I didn't realize why universe insisted on me going there, because I had so many hints. But maybe it was a test, I don't know. If it was, I don't want to see it as I failed, because I did learn a lot from there, seeing how they told their stories and everything. It was amazing, actually, a good experience. And for the next time, I will be prepared, because I know that I am meant to talk, and I need to talk. To talk like this is a little bit more safe in that sense, even if it's impulsive and I don't have a script or anything when I'm talking, hence the babbling from time to time. But it will be good to talk in front of a live audience. However many of you there is, it's still amazing practice. So I will make sure that next time I will have a story based on my own experience, so the spiritual awakening, because this is my soul mission. It is to work about spiritual awakenings. And there's lots of light and darkness there. But we'll see. Anyway, I just wanted to share this with you. I will probably make videos with storytelling because, different. Maybe I will stand up a little bit. Now I'm sitting. But there are so many possibilities to do this thing. And I was very inspired today. So, and by the way, before I close this one down, thank you very much, guys, for following me. 133 now. I'm very proud and happy. And yeah, I see that other people have thousands and thousands of followers, but this is a new account somewhat. And I like to see the numbers go up. And I like when you heart and everything like that. So thank you for that. You should know it's very appreciated. I will try to figure out a little bit how to spread it even more, but baby steps. Thank you for your feedback and everything. And I will post a reading tomorrow also. And if you want to connect or something, just contact me. It would be nice. I do like to talk to people, and maybe, someone else have a similar mission as I do, to speak, to be noisy and everything, and maybe we can bump our heads together or something. It would be nice. But okay, I will go to bed now. Sleep well, and if you listen so far, thank you very much, and take good care of yourself. And please don't hesitate to write in the comments or something. How do you experience light versus darkness? It's a very interesting subject, actually. Okay. Good night. Bye.